Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. Now, today's take of the day, the biggest surprise in the NBA so far has been the Utah Jazz. Now, before we get into the video, please like, subscribe, leave any comments. Please hit the notification bell for my future videos. I'll be talking about more NBA and more topics and more news and more stats. And to get more information or to DM me, just look in the description if you want to reach out. And please remember to subscribe. Now let's just jump right into it. The Utah Jazz have surprised me as a team because when I think about them, I think of them not as good as the Lakers, Clippers, teams like that, the top teams in the West or maybe even in NBA. But this year so far they've been surprising, they really have. And I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell and he's playing really good. I'm not sure if it's MVP level type, but at the same time, he's playing really good. I mean, I think he's averaging like 24 points a game on 44% shooting, with an average of maybe like 5 assists and about 5 rebounds. So, I mean, I would say their superstar is actually, doing his part. And if that's the case, then they'll definitely be in good position to win a lot of games. Because I think Donovan Mitchell is going to be like one of the top 5 or 10 players in the league here soon, if not already. But, I mean, we'll see how the season goes along. It's early in the season. Hopefully he doesn't tail off or fall off or anything based upon the stats and the way he's playing right now, because he's playing really good at the moment. And like I said, I think a lot of people might overlook him just because he plays for Utah, but I think he has him in good contentions. I think Utah is definitely a surprise this early part of the season. I didn't see them being 12-4, what they are. I didn't see them being the second or third best team in the West. I didn't see that. Now, like I said, it's still early. Maybe by the end of the season, they'll be, 4th or 5th seed, some 6th seed, somewhere in there. That's where I kind of projected them to be anyway, myself. But like I said, so far they've been really a surprise. They've been shooting pretty good as a team. They've been playing together. They've got some some big wins. And they even got wins against some teams I didn't expect them to beat. Honestly, I didn't expect them to beat the Warriors when they played them. The other night. So I mean, but they pulled it out. They won and. Like I said, to me, they've been the biggest surprise because I don't think nobody would have picked them to be the top 2, teams in the West. Now, the Lakers, Clippers, they're fighting basically for the 1 seed because when one wins a game, the other one takes the number 1 seed by default. So that number 1 seed is up for grabs basically between them 2 teams. But right there in the middle is the Utah Jazz, and I think they're definitely a team that a lot of people might overlook, or a team that a lot of people might not even pay attention to, especially since a lot of their games don't come on TV or the national televised games as much, or at least it seems that way anyway. I don't want to downgrade the Utah Jazz or anything like that, but they're just not a high celebrated team, and I think Donovan Mitchell could bring that team to life. I think he already has brought them to life, but I think he could do it even more based upon what I'm seeing. The only fault I always look at when I look at the Utah Jazz is Rudy Gobert, and that's a whole nother thing with him. I just kind of feel like he might be a little bit overrated myself. That's just my personal opinion. Like I said, he's a decent player, but to me, I don't see him ever dominate. To have a big man like him, and as much money as they pay him, you would think that he's more of a dominant type figure, big man. You would think that he would just control the game in a way where it would just be dominant, like almost sort of say like just like a beast in the paint, like maybe 22 points. Well, okay, yeah, I'll go with 22 points. Yeah, 22, 25 points, 15 rebounds, like I say this: if he averaged, let's say, let me give him a good number for him to average. Like if he averaged 20 points with 14 rebounds a game and 2 blocks, I think he would be. I think he would be exactly what they need to get over the hump, or to be one of those top 2 teams in the West, and make some noise in the playoffs. I really do. Now, I will say this with Donovan Mitchell, with his superpowers, with his, you know, ability to score, being a star that he is, he can definitely carry him. He can definitely carry the team. But at some point, he's definitely going to need a second player to step up and really make some big plays. Now, Mike Conley has been, really good for them as well. Mike Conley has always been underrated, to most people. So he's definitely a really good point guard for them to, in which he controls the offense really good and everything. So yeah, you got stability there. But like I said, with the Rudy Gobert situation, I think that's what makes them a liability in a lot of games, or like when the games get really big, because your big man really isn't dominant. Like even when Rudy Gobert gets like 16, 18 rebounds, I just don't feel like what he does is dominant. I just don't really feel that way. I don't really see it. Is he getting his numbers? Is he getting the stats? Yeah, he's doing that. But I mean, is it a dominating 18 rebounds, 16 rebounds? Is he going out there like just demanding in the paint, like making his own presence in the paint? I don't see that with Rudy Gobert, and I never have seen it. And I've been waiting to see it for a while because, like I said, there's a lot of analysts, what I'm saying, that would, rate him as, probably one of the best like centers, big men in the game, like centers in the game. So if he's going to be looked at in that light or in that stature, then I need him to dominate more. Because like I said, if he averaged 20 points a game and uh, maybe 15, 14 rebounds, if he averaged that the whole season, I think Utah would be a really, really tough out in the playoffs, because you're looking at a team who's got scoring in the paint, plus they got a shot blocker in the paint, and he dominates on the boards really well, which can give them extra possessions. Maybe like if Donovan Mitchell is not playing as good, or Mike Conley, is not playing as good that one night specifically. I feel like that's their weakest link right there. But at the same time, I don't want to take anything from the team. They played really good this year. They've done really good so far, and like I said, they've been a surprise, big surprise. But hey, if they're not a surprise to you, then who is your surprise team? So that's the question I wonder. I ask, anybody else who's listening to this video right now, because they're definitely my surprise team. Because when Donovan Mitchell is, playing as good as he is, and the team is playing, pretty collectively, and they're beating formidable teams. I feel like I think that shouldn't go unnoticed. I feel like they should at least, get their 5 minutes of fame now. I was saying, so I'm definitely giving them their 5 minutes of fame right now. I'm definitely giving them their props, because they deserve it. They really do. But like I said, we'll see exactly how it goes. It's very early in the season. It's really hard to say exactly how they're going to turn out and what they're going to be, maybe by All-Star break, or, give or take something like that. We'll just have to see exactly, where they are and what they're doing, because the competition is only going to get harder, of course, when you have to play the Lakers one night, and maybe a back-to-back, you got to play the Clippers, and then you got to travel all the way to Toronto the night after that, and maybe go back to, I don't know, uh, Indiana after that. NBA always has those stretches where you got those road games, those back to backs, where it can tire you out, and you're playing better competition, and stuff like that. So we'll see exactly how the season goes on. What the Utah Jazz are going to look like, and how they're going to pan out. How they're going to fare against all the other good teams in the NBA. Because to me, it's Lakers, Clippers, Clippers, Lakers, number 1A, 1-2, 1B. Both of them could be the number one seed in my opinion. Because between one of them two teams, one of them will be in the number one seed. That's just the way I see it. So you got those two teams, and I think Phoenix might be another team that'll, gel eventually. So, well, they're doing pretty good now, but I think they're another team that might flourish and do a lot better as the season goes on and they get more chemistry with each other. So, yeah, and then you got the Nuggets as well. So that's why I said, in the West, we got some teams and, we got some teams that really, really, can challenge Utah, and even the Golden State Warriors, they're playing really, really good this year, really surprising too. So, like I said, we'll see exactly where Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz stack up. But I do say once again that they have to find a way to get Rudy Gobert more involved offensively, and he has to work on his game and get better offensively because in the playoffs they really could use a big man who has a presence in the paint, where he's respected offensively, and that's just what it comes down to as far as their playoffs. But I mean, like I said, it's early for that. But as of right now, I believe Rudy Gobert, I believe he's averaging somewhere maybe like 12 points, 13 rebounds, which, is solid for a big man. But like I said, it's not dominant. If you're not dominating in this league, I promise you, your team is not going to go that far. So if they're paying him like a superstar, I'm just saying, he has to play more like it or play more like what his paycheck says. So 12 points a game is not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. To me, he's just underachieving, and that's just not what they need as a collective group, as an organization. But they make it work because Donovan Mitchell is out there, playing really good, and Mike Conley and all the other boys are playing really good, together. So they make up for it. But at some point, they're going to have to address the elephant in the room. But that's my take on it. And like I said, not to knock them down or anything like that. So far, they've been doing really good. So we'll see exactly how that holds up. And hey, till next time.